welcome to another episode of Roommates Review. I am your roommate, Liam.
And I am your roommate, Evan.
Today, at home.
I live with you now.
Yes.
The end.
Alright, thank you for listening to our review of
Thor, Ragnarok.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's it.
Yeah.
Tune in next time
for Dragon
Ball Z. Alright, well that was painful. Today we're reviewing
Clumsy.
Thor Ragnarok. Needless to say, there will be spoilers for this film.
And any potential film or video game or book or anything. We're going to spoil anything at any point, I'm sure.
Yeah, we make references to anything and everything.
So, yeah, it's just...
Mostly, we just talk about movies we wish this was.
Yeah, and then we call several actors or characters autistic, and then we move on with our lives.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's... I mean, you've watched... I don't know why we're giving an introduction. Point is, we watched Thor Ragnarok, and we're going to review it, and we're going to rank it amongst the other Marvel movies that we've ranked so far.
And I'm not going to beat around the bush. Evan and I both dislike this movie.
We dislike it.
It's one of our least favorite Marvel films.
Especially recently. What year did it come out? 2017? Did it come out?
It was like right before Infinity War, wasn't it?
Was it?
No.
No, it was a good deal of time.
It was 2017 or 2016. Like 2016 maybe.
But I'm thinking the movies that came around that time, Black Panther.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Black Panther is great.
Black Panther is great. Trying to think. There was another one.
It's not a race movement, but it's great.
Doctor Strange. I get confused in my timelines of when the movies were.
Doctor Strange was before.
I know it was before, but yeah. Speaking of which, Doctor Strange is in Ragnarok, and
he's a pretty good cameo.
It's a good cameo. I really like him messing around with Thor in that way.
And I like that his costume is complete. Like he has his yellow gloves.
Yeah, he does.
Which is really nice.
He's got everything there.
Really good touch.
Yeah, he's simple and he actually gets out of your way pretty quickly.
Yeah.
It's not he's not gonna be sticking around as a big character or whatever. The first time I watched the movie, I was kind of upset by how he effortlessly takes out Loki.
Right.
I am less critical of that now because both times he caught Loki by surprise and Loki was underestimating him. Things I can understand.
That's fair.
And it wasn't like it was a long time. There was immediately he gets pulled from the streets, and that happens. And then, while he's thinking he's going to fight him, Doctor Strange is like, "No, I don't want to fight you."
Right.
So it seemed more reasonable now.
And Marvel, as a production company, also the cinematic universe at the very least, also underestimates Loki.
Yes. Oh yeah. No. The rest of Loki is terrible. Is even his joke when he lands, or joke, I don't even know. I don't know if it's a joke. When he lands like, "I've been falling for 30 minutes."
Right.
Like, that's not funny.
Yeah, it's not, it's an anecdote.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. There's a lot about this movie that just doesn't land, and there's a whole bunch of inconsistencies, and it's just everyone is the comic relief character except for Heimdall.
Yeah.
So, what's the plot of this film?
Okay, the plot's pretty straightforward. It takes some curves, but the point is Thor wants to stop Ragnarok, which is the complete destruction of Asgard.
Right.
And his sister, who was locked away for a long time, comes back and she wants to rule Asgard. So really, they both have similar goals in that they want Asgard to stay. Until at the end, Thor realizes he needs to destroy Asgard. And that's the shift, that's the growth, that's the plot, really. I mean, in simple terms.
Right.
Thor needs to stop Ragnarok until he doesn't.
Okay. Now, what are the subplots?
Okay.
Because this is where it gets convoluted.
Thor and Loki are working together
Uh-huh.
because Loki lied to Thor for several years about being dead. And
Yes.
so Thor thought, now is the time to trust him.
Also, he banished Odin from Asgard with some kind of spell and put him in an
Right.
old folks' home.
Yeah, Loki doesn't get any repercussion for that
No.
at all. The most he gets is Thor taking away the king life from Loki.
Mm-hmm.
And that's about it.
Yeah, it's... So, we'll walk through the film chronologically.
Okay, I'll try my best.
It's, like we said, convoluted. So, we open with Thor just chilling in a cage.
A cage.
Yeah.
A cage.
A cage in a cave.
Yes, both. It's both a cage and a cave.
Talking to a skeleton.
Yes. And it's not funny, although it's trying to be.
Right.
I
I think part of the strength of Thor's character in the first Thor film is that he's a very serious character, but he's a fish out of water. So the circumstances are funny,
Right.
not Thor himself.
Right, definitely.
And that's what makes him
100%.
interesting.
Yeah. This, he's actually in his element,
Mhm.
being captured, fighting a bunch of fire demons or whatever. That's Thor, and that's good. That should be. He shouldn't be then cracking jokes the whole time.
Yeah,
Or
like spinning in circles
yeah,
and using the same joke twice in a row while
Yeah.
while talking to Serta.
yeah. That was the most uncomfortable thing to me. I went to see the brand new Thor movie in
Mhm.
theaters. You know, audiences will laugh at a lot more
Right.
than I will personally.
Yeah, because you've got a big brain.
And then I will laugh at things that no one in the theater finds funny. And I think that perhaps maybe I have some sort of mental disorder
Yeah.
just for that brief moment where I'm like, this is hilarious. Like, did no one else see that? Am I
Uh-huh.
missing? Did I? Okay, I'm gonna go back to
My deep
just
fried
watching
memes.
it. Yeah, the only thing that I can understand.
Uh,
So I'm in the theater. He does the bit where like I need to spin around. No one laughs in the whole theater. I was expecting like, okay, here comes the laugh.
yeah, someone's gonna laugh. It's a
Nothing.
dumb joke.
Dead silence.
Mm-hmm.
And so then the joke happens
Again.
again for dead silence.
Yeah, that's how I felt inside.
Yeah.
So, like sitting in an entire theater where no one's laughing at that, that's very uncomfortable.
Yeah, there were moments where we were just watching it now, just me and you, and just like, we're both like, that was a joke they told to us.
Mm-hmm.
And that was not funny.
No, not at all.
We didn't say anything, we didn't even look at each other, just like, this is uncomfortable. This is... When a joke isn't funny, it's slowing down the movie.
Yep.
That's the thing. If it's funny, like, most of the time, Tony Stark keeps it rolling,
Mhm.
and you're just waiting for the next one. You're anticipating it. But when it's not funny, when you don't get a laugh out of it at all, it's horrible.
And this is already a long film. It's 2 hours and 10 minutes.
Yeah. That's the thing about jokes. They're risky because they're all or nothing.
Mm-hmm.
But Thor decides to take that risk. Nearly 95% of the movie
Yeah.
is making that risk over and over and over again.
Thor is both the straight man and the comic relief. And it just,
Yeah, at
it's-
varying parts, depending on who he's paired up with, basically.
Yeah, it feels like there's just a tear in his character, and it's uncomfortable.
But not
most
in
of the time.
a good way of, like, he's mentally distraught from, you know, all the things that have happened to him. And he's maybe going a little more insane or whatever. No,
Right.
he's just over-the-top goofy
Mhm.
because. And then he's serious sometimes.
Yeah, even when he's talking about how he's had horrible dreams about Asgard burning, and he's saying it very casually and
Yeah, yeah.
nonchalant
Yeah,
and
yeah.
cracking jokes about it and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Right.
You'd think he'd take that a little more seriously.
Yeah.
The character of Serta, he's throwaway.
Yeah, he's fine.
I think he's fine though. I think in the very first scene when you see him and he gets up from his chair and he's holding his right arm against his body like he's kind of crippled a little bit
Uh-huh.
and dragging his sword, like that looks really cool.
Yeah,
like there's some
definitely.
history to this character because, you know, he's injured in this way but he still can fight, and it's like And got almost kind of a Dark Souls feel from him. Like,
Yeah,
this is
yeah.
interesting. It's interesting.
Right, definitely, and he's gone quickly,
Yep.
which is okay. I think it's a good show of Thor's power,
Mhm.
reminding you he's incredibly powerful. That's fine with me.
Right.
Yeah, he's able to break out of that. He's able to kill Surtur, get his head. Good.
Right.
And that could even be played up for comedic effect.
Mhm.
That's fine. With that, of him being so good at fighting, that's fine. You know, that he's just able to easily rip off the head of a fire demon.
Right. And then we cut to Asgard, where we see Karl Urban with a shake weight. And that's a joke. It's supposed to be anyway.
Yeah, that is a punchline. That's a moment where you're supposed to laugh. They plan for you to laugh there.
Yeah. Thor is trying to escape that planet and calling for Heimdall. And Scourge is in charge of the Bifrost now.
Yeah.
And he's not hearing Thor because he's shaking a shake weight.
Yeah, he does the shake weight. He's got the guns.
Yeah.
He made the Texas joke.
Texas.
And
Yeah.
then later in
Texas.
the movie, they call it Asgard.
Yeah,
They make
Asgard and Asperg.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like
They make that joke
the same joke.
multiple times.
It's not a funny joke. It's not.
Mm-mm.
That's something you say to make fun of jokes.
Yeah.
You know? Are we Hold on a second. Is Ragnarok pulling us out and taking us and making us look at comedy and just like peeling it apart and saying that comedy is dead? Is that what it's actually doing? Is that the purpose of the movie? That we're missing this layer? It goes one layer deep.
Ooh. It's like an 8th
It's
tier
making
meme, and
fun.
we're only at 7th.
It's making fun of the audience that watches it.
Oh my goodness.
I think so.
I feel plebeian all
It's
of a
the
sudden.
Beavis and Butthead of Marvel movies. It's incredible. I didn't realize.
Right.
I wish I would have known. And that makes sense why the only actual funny character is the director himself. Wow. This is a revelation.
I feel like we need to go watch it again.
I feel like, yeah. I was going to say I feel like I need to Ragnarok myself, but, you know, just like, just burn down the house and...
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
I thought you were making some kind of joke with like the rock at the end of it. Like, Ragnarok myself.
I wish. Now that would be some sort of comment on comedy.
It's something. Anyway, we come back to Asgard. We see who we think is Odin lounging, eating dates, and watching theater.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Anthony Hopkins doesn't make this scene good. What makes this scene good is the theater production.
Yes.
It's just goofy, but in a good kind of way.
Yeah, it's good.
It's interesting. It's a little overdone.
Yeah, it's over the top, but you could see it. You know, we all know as an audience that is Loki.
Right.
And not Odin. Mm-hmm. You could see Loki praising himself in a play in a funny way. 100% you could see that.
But what really makes this scene are the actors that they got to play the characters in the theater production.
Yeah, that's what makes the scene, though. That's the unfortunate thing.
Yeah.
That literally just the stars...
They're like, oh, hey, it's this guy, and this guy.
I know that guy.
Yeah, it's not because
That's
the
not
scene is especially good or the confrontation between Loki and Thor is especially good.
I know this thing!
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's because, oh, hey, Sam Neill's playing Odin. That's awesome.
Is
that Matt Damon?
Why is Matt Damon in this movie?
Yeah, and then Thor is played by Luke Hemsworth. Luke? I don't know. Another Hemsworth brother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, oh.
Like, that's funny.
Interesting. But, yeah, so that happens. Thor then almost immediately figures out that Loki is Odin for some reason. He sees a statue and suddenly deciphers it.
Yep.
And then threatens to kill Loki. Which, one, Loki knows Thor. Thor wouldn't kill Loki, no matter how mad he was at him.
Right.
Because, I mean, Thor did kill Loki once, but clearly that's not a big deal for Loki. I don't know. Him dying is not...
Yeah. He's done it a few times.
Yeah, like, because he totally throws him off that rainbow bridge in the first one.
But he's fine.
He was fine. So maybe he didn't want to take a hammer to the face. Don't know why then that Loki had to reveal himself while he jumped out of the way. He says he gives up. And then
he yields.
He yields, and then... But that's happening at the same time Thor's letting him go. I don't know. It's just not good. It's just like, yeah, it's not good. It's not good at all.
So, to fast forward then, Thor demands that he be taken to Odin. They don't find Odin where they left him. They meet Doctor Strange, as we already talked about. And then they find Odin on a cliffside. They talk for a little bit. Odin seems to have some Alzheimer's. And then he just turns into dust.
Yeah, unceremoniously.
Yeah. He's like, I'm on a different path now.
Goodbye.
Good luck. And he just turns into sparkles.
He just turns into sparkles and flies out over the ocean.
When other Asgardians die, they become bodies because they're flesh and bone.
Yeah.
They're not ethereal beings, though they live longer and they have incredible strength and they're considered gods.
And it's not like it's not like as a light or something he went up to the sky. No, he just like flew over the ocean. And
because he really liked Norway.
Where is he going? Yeah, well.
It was home or something.
Yeah. Yeah, and he commended Loki for his spell that he put on him. Like, oh yeah, good job, you.
Yeah.
You trapped me. Good. Good job.
Yeah. Frigga would have been proud.
But by the way,
you have a sister.
You have a secret sister. And then she immediately shows up.
Yeah.
There's no even time waiting of, like, where we're going to meet her.
Yeah, there's no time. There's no time to mourn Odin.
She shows up in Norway for some reason. Yeah. That's not really explained.
Like, she has some kind of homing beacon. Like, when Odin's dead, I show up where he dies.
Or was... Because Odin said he was containing her, but where? How?
Yeah.
And not in his sparkle being, apparently. And she shows up, and then...
And Odin, this is important, makes it very clear that Hela draws her strength from Asgard.
Yes.
And the longer she's there, the more powerful she gets.
Right.
And so, Evan, what happens in this scene?
So immediately, Thor tries to attack her. They have a little bit of a conversation. Throws the hammer at her. Then she instantly destroys his hammer without any effort or any struggle or any show of weakness to where she could grow in strength. She just destroys it.
Yep.
And Loki says, we need to get out of here. And so whoever that guy, the bearded guy, whatever his name is, like, okay, I'm in charge now, not Scourge.
Yeah.
Because before, Scourge wasn't really in charge, but no one else was there. Someone should be standing.
Right.
This is something I've only just now thought about.
Yeah, at the Bifrost.
That Scourge wasn't in control the first time. That seems reasonable. But I didn't think about that. Where was whoever was supposed to be in charge? Are they taking shifts now? Or...
I don't know. Either way, this dwarf dude turns on the Bifrost and brings all of them, or tries to bring them all back to Asgard. In transit, which is now a thing.
Yeah.
The Bifrost is no longer instantaneous. In transit, they're flying through the air and Hela's behind them.
Yeah, and she catches up.
She catches up because apparently she can vary her speed inside of the Bifrost.
Yeah, which is like faster than light speed or something.
And also, the Bifrost now has power over time itself.
Well, they tried to explain it.
Yeah.
That time is different once you get to the portal.
Time is different in Sakaar.
Yeah, I don't know. But, yeah, that happens. They both get knocked out. Loki and Thor get knocked out of the beam, the magic beam. And, yeah, it's not good.
Yeah.
It's just not.
And then Hela shows up at the Bifrost and kills the dwarf and the pomp, the foppish-looking dude.
Here's something. So, when Thor showed up to Asgard the first time. We're told that Heimdall is on the run.
Yeah, exiled.
He's considered to be some sort of evil
Fugitive.
Yeah. And then, he's unable to gather people to his cause, I suppose, in that way. Even though Heimdall seems pretty reasonable guy, you would think that someone would be in the way. But then as soon as Hela shows up, then everybody's like, oh, Heimdall is real because Odin was Loki, and just, it's so convoluted for no reason.
Yep. Yep.
Now we all trust Heimdall, which it never showed any of us not trusting Heimdall at any point. So.
Oh, he's an outcast. For reasons.
Yeah. I don't want to show you, but trust me, he's an outcast.
Yeah.
That's kind of the
This
theme.
movie demands you take a lot of things, a lot of characters at their word.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't show you half the things they talk about. They're just like, this happened. I'm feeling this way.
Yeah, definitely. And that's what you get when, 80% of the movie was improv or something like that. Something stupid.
Something ridiculous.
maybe you should put a little thought into what you said. This isn't some third-rate Dungeons and Dragons campaign that you guys are playing in the garage.
Yeah.
This is a big movie in a big series. With big power comes big responsibility.
So, they end up on Sakaar. Thor runs into the Valkyrie, who is drunk, but not drunk half the movie.
Yeah.
Even though she's still drinking the entire movie.
Yeah, she keeps drinking, and then...
She only acts drunk once, and that's when we first meet her.
Yeah, and then after that, she is completely fine, and she's... Also, she kills a bunch of people as soon as you meet her. She's the good guy.
Yeah.
At the end.
Right.
But she instantly just vaporizes all those people around Thor.
Mm-hmm.
Who were able to fight Thor.
Who were able to fight Thor, who is a god, who is as strong, if not stronger than the Hulk. And the Hulk is invincible.
Yeah.
Canonically.
Yeah. Yeah.
Pretty sure.
Yeah. Invulnerable at the very least.
Yeah. So, I'm calling BS on that one.
Yeah.
Also, they throw an electric net over him.
Yeah, and...
First off, again, he's incredibly strong, and that shouldn't affect him for that reason alone.
Right.
Secondly, he's the god of thunder.
Yeah.
And electricity.
Yeah.
So an electric current goes through him. You'd think that would do nothing.
Yeah, it should be fine.
Yeah.
He should be normal. It should make him stronger.
If this was an RPG, it would heal him.
Yeah. Yeah. Why? They could have chosen something else, anything else, to stop him. It would have still been no. No.
I don't believe it.
I don't believe it because he's insanely strong. If it would have, froze him, froze his veins, or whatever. If it would have, somehow done that.
Right.
Or even some sort of bullcrap sci-fi or whatever. Like turn his blood into, I don't know, marbles. I don't know. I'm just riffing here.
Yeah.
But, if that would happen. But no, it's clearly electricity. His one immunity.
Yeah. And they do that multiple times in the film.
Yeah. Yeah, they do. And that electricity stops the Hulk. Somehow.
So we meet Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah.
Who is just Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah.
That's all he is.
Yep.
They cast Jeff Goldblum and they said,
hey.
Be Jeff Goldblum.
Hey, talk.
And that's just silly.
Yeah.
It's just him stuttering and being goofy as himself.
And I would be okay with that if Thor wasn't also being goofy.
If everyone in the entire cast wasn't, the comic relief wasn't goofy. Like, you need straight men.
Over the top. If
you need heterosexual males.
Yeah, you do. If Thor Ragnarok wasn't a Looney Tune,
right,
it'd be good.
Yeah.
No,
probably not.
No, but it would be better.
It'd be better.
It would. Yeah, but it seriously does. It does remind me of a Looney Tune, but not in a good way. Not in a, but anything can happen.
Alright, so they go into the tournament, the Pit of Champions. Oh, before that, they meet the only two characters who should be comic relief characters.
Yes, the two, and they are funny.
And they're hilarious. They're the ones that Evan and I laughed at.
Yeah, we legitimately laughed at it.
What is his name?
Quark.
Quark.
And Meek.
And Meek. Quark is a rock man, and Meek is a bug with knives for hands. And they're both hilarious.
He's great. Meek is amazing.
Yeah. Like, they are perfect comic relief characters, and if they had been the only comic relief characters, the movie would have been better.
Oh yeah, big time. But instead...
And, like, other people can still do a joke every now and then, but it has to be contextual, and it has to be in an appropriate time for a joke. You know, you can't be fighting the person who's murdered half the population of Asgard.
Yeah.
And be really calm and collected about it.
Yeah, right. Like, oh, this is cool.
This is casual.
Yeah.
Like, I mentioned this to Evan while we were watching the film. In Civil War, Tony Stark loses his cool when he finds out that Bucky murdered his parents. Bucky was under mind control even. Tony Stark doesn't care. He's like, I don't care. He killed my mom. And he just goes on a rampage. He's trying to murder Bucky.
Yeah.
Like, there's no jokes. There's no comic relief anymore. It's just determination.
Right.
And sheer will.
Yeah.
Thor, he returns. He's sitting on the throne. Most of Asgard is dead and under the rule of Hela. And he's casual about it, cracking jokes.
Yeah.
And just like, hey sis, what's up? And it just doesn't feel natural.
No, it doesn't. It's as if they did each scene individually without knowing what anything else was. There's no... You could put that Thor at the beginning of the movie or the end of the movie. He's the same Thor.
Yeah, there's no character growth.
Not even kind of.
This...
Like I said, his growth is going from thinking he needs to protect Asgard to thinking that destroying it is the only way to survive. And that happens in like the last 5 minutes of the movie.
Yeah, there's no... It feels like the characters are disconnected from the plot.
Yeah. Oh, completely. Yeah, they're just... And that's the thing, though. I want to say all these jokes were written, but I don't... They weren't. They weren't written. They're just like, oh, this would be funny to say. We're just goofing around having a good time. This isn't Caddyshack, where you get your friends together and you smoke a lot of weed and you tell a bunch of jokes together, and then it's a movie.
But here's the problem. People loved this movie.
That is a problem.
Like, this is a hugely successful Marvel film.
Yeah. People were like, yeah, it's way better than Dark World. It's like, yeah, Dark World wasn't good, though.
Yeah.
This is not good.
That's not saying something. Dark World was bad.
Yeah. It's not better than the first Thor.
No. The first Thor, I don't know, it felt like a Thor movie.
Yeah.
I don't know what this feels like.
I don't know. Well, I know what it feels like. It feels like Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, it feels like Guardians of the Galaxy, but bad. Marvel has taken this step with Thor Ragnarok that all of their movies are goofy Guardians of the Galaxy films.
Well, yeah.
Well,
this one.
At least this one.
This one's for sure.
They're like, all right, the Thor, Dark World just didn't do well, so let's make it Guardians of the Galaxy. Is what they thought.
Yeah.
What they did.
Yeah.
And didn't land. Guardians of the Galaxy are great movies.
Yeah.
This one was not.
Yeah.
They bastardized the character of Thor.
And then they took Loki and just made him a punching bag. And I don't know why. Why even include him in the movie?
Yeah.
If he's going to be nothing more than a punching bag. Than just a watered down... He's not evil anymore.
No.
He's not clever anymore. He's not
powerful.
He's not scheming.
He's just kind of there.
He's just there. He's there as another comic relief, finally. Finally a relief from all this comedy.
Goodness.
That's what it felt like. I don't think I laughed at a single one of Loki's lines.
Right. And Bruce Banner shows up and sees Loki and he's like, "Hey, it's Loki. How you doing?
Yeah.
Are you still trying to kill people?" Like cracking jokes again about Loki, who killed Agent Coulson and tried to take over the world.
Yeah.
And enslaved
plenty of people.
Hundreds of people.
Yeah, he was.
Brought an alien invasion
Mm-hmm.
to New York.
Mm-hmm.
And Bruce Banner's like, "Oh, hey, what's up, man?"
Hey, how's it going? I
Like,
was Hulk for 2 years for some reason.
They don't even treat him like he was a bad guy.
No.
So, but yes, I brought up Bruce Banner. Evan,
Let's go.
let's go back to the duel of fates.
Bruce Banner or the Hulk.
Mm-hmm.
Both of them are bad. Hulk, at first, when you see the movie, it gets worse after you know what happens.
Right.
Because when you see stupid Hulk, it's like, this is a thing that happens.
Right.
Banner can give more strength to the Hulk, and he loses, his intelligence. And the more of the balance he gets, less strong or more intelligent,
Mm-hmm.
However, he chooses to do it. So that is a Hulk. That's reasonable. He
Right.
had been getting his Hulk powers under control
Mm-hmm.
through the movies. It took some... He had perfect control of it in the first Avengers, and then the second one he didn't anymore.
Right.
So I don't know why, but whatever. That's fine.
Very inconsistent.
He's getting
character.
control over the Hulk. That's fine. He's a stupid Hulk. And then he's
Mhm.
like, there is no Banner. Like, I'm sorry, what? And there's no Banner.
Excuse me?
You should be a rage monster then, my child. If Banner's not in control, then you're pure rage. You should be killing everyone you see, because they make you very angry. Because that's your whole shtick. That's your whole thing.
Yeah.
You've got 2 modes. That's it. You're
Yeah.
either under control, or you're enraged. You're
Mhm.
not goofy and like,
You're not just...
I'm in a hot tub.
Yeah, not in a hot tub. Look at my big dick. my big dick, green Hulk dick.
Yeah. Thor, dumb.
Me smash.
Yeah.
Smash you.
Yeah.
Now let me eat this squash.
Yeah, for a very long time. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's stupid.
Yeah. It's like that. If he'd showed up for this was his first movie,
Mm-hmm.
the Hulk, I'd be like, that's kind of weird, but
I'll
it's
accept
okay.
it.
But to take all of the growth that he had in the other
Mhm.
ones and be like, nah, he's just this now.
Yeah, this is the Hulk now.
You remember from those other movies? Yeah? No. No, this is the Hulk now.
Maybe that's why they didn't really use him in Infinity War, because they're like,
Oh, God.
how do we bring him back
I
after
seriously
they bastardized him so
Yeah,
hard in
I think-
Ragnarok?
I think the Infinity War directors, I think they know. I think they knew that Ragnarok was poison
Yeah.
to their, like, actual good storytelling.
Mm-hmm.
I think they did, because Thor is completely different,
Yep.
and they either killed all of the characters from Ragnarok or didn't show them.
Right.
There were no other.
Like, we're not doing this.
They didn't mess with Korg or Meek or
No.
Valkyrie. Didn't touch them. They said
Yeah.
these characters, these side characters, they don't make it. They killed Loki off immediately.
And Heimdall.
And Heimdall, they're like, we're just gonna go ahead, burn this whole thing.
Yeah.
Thanos come in right off the bat, kill everyone.
Yeah. Which is great.
And then we'll start and we'll build from the ground up.
That said, I hated Bruce Banner and the Hulk in Infinity War as well, but that is a different conversation
And it's completely different.
for a different movie,
It's different.
which we will talk
But it does
about at
stem
length.
from this one.
It does stem from this one.
Where he's just so goofy and over the top.
Yep.
As Bruce Banner.
It's Bruce Banner.
I can understand him being goofy as the Hulk.
Mm-hmm.
Not so much in his way of, like, how he's acting towards, like, me big, me smash.
Yeah, the character of Bruce Banner even says, I have 7 PhDs.
Yeah.
That's the line he says.
Yeah.
And he's like, alright, so act like it.
But they did play it off pretty
Mhm.
good. Because, he's being all kooky and strange. And Thor goes, why are you acting so weird? And he says, I don't know. So, I mean,
Right.
I guess we did figure it out from there. So,
He does say, The whole line, for the audience's sake, is, I don't know, I've been inside the Hulk for 2 years. Maybe that makes someone a little weird, or something like that.
Yeah, something along those lines. But it's just like, okay, just ruin this character. Ruin this character, ruin this character, ruin this character.
Yeah.
And then they created Valkyrie to be a ruined character from the get-go. There's so many little things. The inconsistency.
Yeah.
I want to pick apart the inconsistencies, but there's so much overarching bad.
It's hard to
It's
pinpoint.
hard. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we want to talk about, as we were watching the movie, we saw, like, why does Valkyrie get a shocker for Thor? Why does she have one?
Mm-hmm. Why does she get to keep it?
Why does she get to keep it? She got paid her money for bringing him in. It's like, okay, Jeff Goldblum likes her.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe she's got something. I mean, it's shown that other characters seem to have shockers, not just Jeff Goldblum. But it's like, okay, maybe.
Yeah, why does she get that? Why does the Quinjet able to go into outer space, period? Why is it somehow end up on Sakaar?
Yeah.
Because there's no... I don't care if it's Stark built. Like, there's no way it gets far enough into space that it finds a wormhole and ends up in Sakaar.
Yeah.
What are the other ones?
Well, I was thinking to continue to go along that line of when Thor then steals the shocker from her, and then he never uses it again. It's really only... Does he?
Uses it on Loki.
Oh, he does use it on Loki. You're right. He does use it on Loki. But he steals that from her, and then she gets another one, I guess. She just gets another one.
Yeah.
She just has a bunch from or whatever. Do they all control all of them?
She just went to the depot and
or like
got another one.
So does she have specific ones for Thor, or like I don't.
They seem like they're universal.
Yeah, you can shock whoever, I guess, whatever, and they're so insanely powerful that everyone besides Thor and the Hulk should die instantly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if they can take out Thor, they should liquidate. Liquidate?
Yes.
Liquefy.
They should liquidate. They need to move their assets out of the company.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's...
So they escape Sakaar in a big dumb chase scene with cars. No, not cars. Flying machines and
someone
stuff.
pointed out one of my favorite little things. I think it was from CinemaSins. Normally I don't like CinemaSins, but when you don't like a movie, it's good to find like he'll point out some good, terrible things about it. And most of his stuff is... we're not talking about CinemaSins. Anyway. We're not reviewing them. He says that when Bruce Banner is told to fly the spaceship, he says, I got 7 PhDs, none of them are in flying alien spaceships. He then effortlessly flies an alien spaceship.
It's true.
Effortlessly. So, what was that line for?
Yeah.
It's just like, he immediately wins. The only mess up he has is that he hits one button thinking it's guns, and it's the birthday party.
He hits the orgy button.
Yeah, instead. And that sends a flare, and it kills that character that they set up for nothing, to nowhere. So, yeah, then they escape.
They get out.
Oh, but here's a really funny joke that they keep bringing up. It's called the devil's anus.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
The wormhole they go through.
Yeah.
They say anus many times.
Yeah, and it's very funny.
It's very funny.
It's very funny because it's the word anus.
Which is a butthole.
Yeah.
For those of you that don't know.
Yeah, that's where poop comes out. Yeah. And that's why it's funny.
That's why it's...
That's all, folks.
Yeah, so, it's just a garbage movie. So they get back to...
It's literally on a garbage planet.
Yeah. Quite literally.
They knew. I'm telling you, the director is one step above us, Liam.
Man, he is hilarious.
He knows.
they get back to Asgard. They fight Hela. She's hella strong.
Oh, man. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Again, she's growing stronger and stronger each day.
Right.
Which it demonstrates.
Which you never see.
No, it doesn't. There's never any lack in power at all.
Strong from the get-go.
She's insanely strong. As soon as she gets to Asgard, she's able to kill an entire Asgardian army.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like...
Which isn't interesting.
No. It's not interesting. I think it would be interesting if, say, she had to fight the people when she gets to the wormhole at first. She kills them instantly.
Mm-hmm.
What if she has a fight with them?
Right.
And she kills them, she wins, but she's injured from it or something.
Mm-hmm. Or like she's not winning at first, but since she's on Asgard, she's going stronger and stronger as the fight progresses.
Right. I would say even, maybe not throughout a fight she gets stronger, but you see she struggles fighting these people.
Right.
And then she goes a step up, and now she struggles fighting these people. Maybe a smaller group of soldiers than we see, and one person, she takes a while. She's able to finally kill him and, get that done. And but she exerts herself in some way where you see any sort of weakness at all, or any sort of. That's the thing. She had no weakness. She had no blind spot. She had nothing that you could target and be like, this is the downfall of her. Mm-hmm. The downfall of Loki was that he's arrogant.
Yeah.
And you could see that. He would put himself into situations where he thinks he has control.
Yes.
But he's arrogant, and so he's going to provide a way that you can attack him, and you know of his arrogance. She has no flaws. And so how they kill her is having an eternal fire demon stab her with an eternal fire sword as they explode Asgard. Yeah. Because they're like, oh, we've created a character with no weaknesses. Oh, I guess the only thing that could kill her is the most powerful thing that we can think of at all. And the heroes
which is like a 5-year-old drawing a character. It's like, I don't know, he's on fire and his sword is on fire and he goes stab.
Yeah. And the whole planet explodes.
Boom.
And the characters really don't. Loki technically beats her by taking the head to the fire. Mm-hmm. And it was technically Thor's plan.
Right.
But they had no chance of fighting her at any point.
No.
In any way.
She's an exceptionally 2D character.
Yeah.
Who's just uninteresting.
Yeah.
In every way.
Yeah. She cracks jokes, and they're not good.
Which isn't to say that Cate Blanchett isn't interesting.
No, Cate Blanchett's fantastic.
Phenomenal actress.
Yeah.
Carl Urban, who plays Scourge. Scourge is a non-character. I love Carl Urban. Carl Urban's fantastic. Yeah, and you can say that about tons of the characters in this film.
Yeah.
Or the actors, sorry. The actors are all very, very good actors. It's just a poorly written movie with bland 2D characters.
That's what I was saying. For some reason, it's, Executioner, Scourge, and Hela. They're together. Their conversations don't really bounce off of each other. Mm-hmm. They have no reason to be any sort of duo at all.
Right.
You never at any point feel like Scourge has come over to the side of Hela. That he's been swayed in some way because she doesn't have any ideals, even.
Right.
Her goal is to control Asgard through force and then control the whole universe through her own demon army power.
Yeah, she has zombie soldiers for some reason.
For some reason, and a big dog.
And a big dog.
Get a big dog.
Now, the big dog is from Norse mythology. I think it's Fenrir or whatever. He's a big hound thing. I think he's part of the actual mythology, Ragnarok, and he's the one who destroys Asgard. I could be completely wrong, but Fenrir is from Norse mythology, so I'm okay with him being there. The zombie soldiers, not as much. But back to Scourge, with the inconsistency of characters, they introduce him as a fairly goofy character.
Yeah.
And then he's not goofy for the rest of the movie. You'd think he'd be the foil to Hela.
Yeah.
He'd be the goofy subordinate.
Yeah.
No.
No.
They're both pretty serious.
Yeah.
Except for Hela, who cracks jokes at Scourge and they don't land at all, and he doesn't say anything in response, and it's
just like
you can almost hear the crickets.
Yeah.
And you want to die.
Yeah, he's like slowly watching her. It's like Carl Urban was like, "This is a mistake." Like he was supposed to say lines and he just couldn't.
Yeah, like he wants to be in Doom again.
Please.
Like he'd rather be in that movie than in this.
Please stop making the jokes. This is so bad.
Hey, my character dies at the end, right?
Yeah,
no?
please.
Alright, I'm gonna jump off of this.
I'm gonna kill my actual self.
So I don't have to reprise this role. And that's why you haven't seen Carl Urban in anything since Thor Ragnarok. He's dead.
He's dead. He really died. Oh, man.
So what else? Is there anything else to say about the plot?
No, I think we covered it.
Pretty much covered it.
I think we covered what happened.
Yeah.
Do we have any more specifics, though, that we want to talk about?
I don't know. It's just bad.
It is bad. It's a very simple plot,
Mm-hmm.
which is okay.
Now, some of the actual film making was really good. There's some really great cinematography and some incredible shots. There are, I think, 3 shots that I can think of off the top of my head that look like paintings. The shot where you have the Valkyrie bearing down on Hela, and it's a side shot, and you see Valkyrie in the upper left corner and Hela in the bottom right. They're going at each other, and like that looks like a painting. It's beautiful.
Right.
It's a great shot.
Okay.
Again, when Thor is jumping into the zombies, that's a great shot.
Mm-hmm.
Similarly, looks like a painting. And again, when Scourge jumps into the zombies.
Yeah.
Like, those are all really great wide shots, really great visuals.
Visual gets like a 10 out of 10.
Mm-hmm.
It's incredible to
Marvel's
look at.
Always very good at visuals.
As far as, we talk about, we don't like the vibe being Guardians of the Galaxy, but the aesthetic of the Guardians of the Galaxy and having space being so colorful like that is good.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
The Trash Planet is amazing. I love the way it looks.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. The scene where Thor's in the chair and he's like floating through the planets and all the colors are happening and they play Pure Imagination from Willy Wonka.
Yeah,
This is really good.
Yeah, it's super good.
It's really good. Like, the first time I think Marvel incorporated Disney music and references to Disney was Ultron. And there was a trailer where they played that song from Pinocchio about being a real boy or something like that.
Right.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Or When You Wish Upon a Star. I don't know. A song from Pinocchio. And it was really dark and just an abysmal, hopeless cover of the song played over the trailer. It's like, this is really good and really interesting. And again, during Thor Ragnarok when they did Pure Imagination, like, oh, that's fun. It's a direct reference to Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Right. And yeah, it's you really, there's nothing to even kind of fault it on. There's some minor CGI, like, that's a little weird, but like
some of the CGI was pretty meh, like Hela specifically.
Yeah.
Some of her stuff just didn't look good.
It seemed unnecessary for her to like. I don't get the whole like her pulling her hair back and into spikes. Like, she could have just been wearing that easily. It didn't symbolize anything, or that maybe that could have been that even could have played into her power. Perhaps it became more apparent as her costume or anything. But no, nothing. There was some like where Thor is jumping down the building. That's some really rough CGI of him. Like, that doesn't look like a person down there. But other than that, though, it's it's gonna happen in movies. It just is. Their CGI
overall,
isn't perfect, but
beautiful looking film.
Yeah, it looks still.
The music, half the time I didn't notice it.
And the other half the time was Led Zeppelin.
The other half was Led Zeppelin, which is great. I wish they hadn't used the same song twice. Yeah. Or at least saved it to the end instead of playing it right away in the beginning and then again when he's jumping into battle.
Right.
Like, that's his theme song now.
Because the first one, it shows it, you know, it's the hammer of the gods. It says the line.
Yeah.
And he's fighting, and it's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually really good. The action's incredible.
Yeah, that scene
with
is,
the visuals.
That scene is great.
That action, amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I would say overall, even the boring stuff plot wise of Hela and things,
Right.
where she's killing all those people, action wise,
Mm-hmm.
you know, it's really good. But yeah, and then to play it again at the end of like, but he didn't need the hammer or something, because like that's the whole point. You put the like if he got his hammer back at the end,
Right.
or if they played it in Infinity War when he came down, and attacked Thanos or something, you know. But it's just like, okay, you played it again and you realize that that's the good music, and it's like, this is a good song. You remember this song?
Remember Led Zeppelin?
Remember Led Zeppelin?
There?
You know,
Jimmy Page is pretty cool.
yeah, you like guitars?
Thought I saw Robert Plant once.
You did see Robert Plant. Robert Plant lives in a small town in Indiana. He lives on a back alley behind a Pizza King.
Little known fact.
Yeah, that's where he lives. We saw him one day.
Yep.
So
The Robert Plant.
it was him. He was there living in the ghetto.
He's working on a new album. You wouldn't understand.
Yeah, you don't get it.
Yeah. Yeah, pacing is terrible. Were there any references?
Pacing is so fast.
The pacing is fast.
It's so fast until they get to the planet, and then it's
grinds to a halt.
It does. And like when you go back to Hela, you're like, oh yeah, she's doing that thing. I forgot about her.
Yeah, I thought this movie was all on Sakaar, and just that might have been more interesting if it was just Sakaar and like a tournament arc kind of film. Like,
Definitely.
Beta Ray Bill shows up.
If there would have been one other fight besides the one fight,
yeah,
that gets stopped short. You know, maybe they. Let's say. Easily just throwing this out here real quick. Hulk's champion, right?
Right.
They send 10 people to fight him at once. Interesting. Thor's one of them. Against all odds, Hulk kills the other 9 or whatever, and Thor beats the Hulk. Like, whoa!
What?
Who is this guy?
Yeah.
Kind of thing. Instead of Thor gets there, sees it's the Hulk, and's like, I gotta talk him out of it. I don't want to fight the Hulk. He's my friend.
Yeah.
We are friends. What?
No, Thor loves fighting.
He loves fighting the Hulk. They love fighting each other. It's great.
They've done it before.
That would have been funny.
Like, in the first Avengers movie, the Hulk punches Thor as a friendly gesture. They fight for fun.
Yeah.
But no. Sun's getting real low. You gotta calm down. I'm not here to fight you.
Right.
We gotta get out of here, man.
Because they gotta set up a joke that's not gonna land.
Yeah.
At least not for me, but for everyone else everywhere.
Yeah.
Dang it.
Were there any references in the movie?
References?
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, besides to Willy Wonka and to...
Willy Wonka, Point Break.
Yeah, again.
They won't let that one die.
What was the shirt that Bruce Banner was wearing?
Oh, I don't know.
What was that album?
Couldn't say.
I can't remember.
Yeah. Alright, good segment.
Yeah.
So, do we want to do one of our 2 favorite segments?
Lay it on me.
Alright. Just one of them? Don't
one of them.
One of the
Just
other?
one of them, yeah.
Just one of them?
We'll
Alright.
let the fans.
We'll start with Stanley.
Okay, Stanley cameo.
How is the Stanley cameo?
It's the worst one.
The worst one.
That we've seen.
That
puts her right above Blade. Where there's no
I can't
Stanley
remember the
cameo.
ones we've seen.
Okay, so Deadpool. Strip Club.
That's really good.
That was super good. Amazing
Spider-Man?
Spider-Man. Library.
I think that's what I said was my favorite.
I think it's the best right now. I'm
Best
pretty sure
right
it's at the top.
Yeah.
Right
Library
now.
one's fantastic.
I don't know. Civil War.
He was the Tony Stank.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which we're like, it wasn't good. But still better.
Right. I think that would be third for me.
I think.
Like Library.
I don't remember. Yeah.
Library, Strip Club.
Yeah. Tony Stank. And then this one where he is cutting the hair of Thor.
Right.
I do like that they had Stan Lee do it.
Mm-hmm.
It just as a the only person who's changed him from his long flowing hair to his short hair.
Yeah, that is nice.
So it's like,
yeah, I don't think it's a bad cameo.
No.
Just not as good as the others.
It's hard because he comes in as the goofy comic relief, but everything's already there.
So goofy.
So when he's like that, it's nothing.
Yeah.
It's not.
It's just it's commonplace.
It's just he's just there. He's just another one of the goofy guys.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I would say it's the worst one.
Okay.
So it's right above Blade.
I agree with that.
Yeah. All right.
And I'm sure you know what the other one is.
I do.
And this is your segment. So
this is my segment. Is it racist?
Is Thor Ragnarok racist? And we talked a little bit about this while we were watching it.
We did. Now, the point of this segment initially was to look up online and find someone upset about it being racist. But it's grown harder to do because it doesn't happen for every movie, unfortunately. Or it's harder to find. Because I'm sure it does happen for every single movie. Okay.
However, there are things that we can directly address.
Yes, there is an Asian man in there, and he's very Asian.
Very. And he's Asgardian.
Strong Asian accent in Asgard.
And I brought up to Evan, why are there racial minorities on Asgard in general? Which he said he doesn't mind, and
we don't know actually how big Asgard is.
It doesn't break my heart either. Asgard doesn't look that big. It looks like it's just a city.
It does.
Just a city on a floating rock.
But then there's also woods.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it doesn't seem like there would be a huge diversity of peoples.
Right. It doesn't seem like that.
And I'm not offended or upset that there are.
No.
It just doesn't seem like it would happen.
Well, I feel like it's reasonable that, every once in a while the genes get mixed up and you produce an Asian person out of all these whiteys. I think it's pretty reasonable. Every once in a while a black guy comes around.
Right.
I do find it odd though that only the special characters can be like, if you're of a different race, then you're gonna be a highlighted character.
Right.
Like even the gingers,
yeah,
was a highlighted character. The blonde guy. The rest are all just white people.
Yeah, and I'm alright with there being diversity. Why does the Asian guy have a distinctly Asian accent?
He's very Asian.
Because these are all the same race of people.
Yeah. Yeah.
They should all speak pretty much the same.
Yeah, you would think so. But no, yeah. So, yes, the movie is racist. Heimdall...
And before you say there should be different dialects, again, Asgard is pretty dang small.
And no one else has a different dialect.
And it's ruled by a single king.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah.
There would be some uniformity when you're ruled by one king, and it's just one kingdom.
And then the black guy is the only serious good character that bled over from the other two films. Heimdall has consistently been good.
Yeah.
Idris Elba. Oh.
And again, he's consistent in this movie. His character isn't cracking jokes. He's being a revolutionary leader in a way, and he's consistently doing that.
Yeah.
Even when he has a joke cracked to him later in the film, he doesn't even know how to respond. He doesn't respond to it because it's just that's not the time. You shouldn't be making jokes.
Yeah.
And when Serta destroys Asgard, you can see the pain on Heimdall's face.
That was crazy. It's just a small cut, and it's just like, oh my gosh, he is upset by this.
Yeah.
Truly, truly upset. You cut to Thor, and he's slipping on a banana peel.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Valkyrie's throwing a pie in Loki's face.
Yeah.
Right?
Heimdall is one of the only, if not the only character who's consistent, takes the event seriously, and feels like a character.
Yeah, he does. And he's incredibly powerful. He's cool. Man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I would argue that this film is not racist.
Okay. It is, but I can see your point.
Okay, tell me how it's racist.
Because it's only white people And Valkyrie's like half black, and all of her people died. All of them were horribly murdered.
All the Valkyries they weren't related.
You don't know that.
It wasn't a family of Valkyries.
They were, and
they specifically showed her holding like a blonde
but
woman.
she was a drunk. So.
Oh yeah.
You know.
So good for nothing.
Yeah,
you're right. This movie is incredibly
She was a
racist.
criminal.
Right.
Yeah, the one criminal.
Don't watch Thor Ragnarok because it's racist undertones.
Yeah, and overtones. And semitones.
And tritones.
Don't watch Thor Ragnarok because it's in the Dorian scale.
Just don't do it.
Whew.
Is there an actor or a character who would have made this better?
I don't know. It's hard to pull. The actors were good already in it.
Mm-hmm.
There were already good actors in there. That's the
Anthony
problem.
Hopkins, for goodness sake.
Yeah, and even his performance is okay. It's not over the top. It's like, it's not bad. It's not great.
Like I said earlier, it feels like he's in Alzheimer's and he's just kind of lost.
Yeah.
And even when he says, "Oh, I broke the spell," he feels spacey and weird.
Yeah, and like he talks to Thor at the end of the movie, and it's just.
Mm-hmm. But I know cognitively that Anthony Hopkins is incredible.
Yes. Here's the thing. That's something I wanted to talk about. I thought about during the movie. When Thor gets to Asgard the first time and starts talking to Loki, Loki makes zero effort to act even kind of like Odin in any way. A testament to how Anthony Hopkins can play Loki playing himself,
right.
which is actually fairly good because
Yeah.
you know that it's not Tom Hiddleston in there,
Right.
but it feels like it
true.
is him, and I forgot about that. That's the thing, because we knew that was Loki. We're like, that's not even Anthony Hopkins.
Yeah, that's something I never even considered. Anthony Hopkins is incredible.
Yeah.
Like, he made me forget that he was playing himself.
But that's not even what I wanted to bring up. It was just the fact that Loki didn't play Anthony Hopkins.
Mm-hmm. There's some
Which
layers.
I have a problem with, or I'm impressed by. I don't know.
Oh man, that's a good point.
Yeah. He felt so much not like himself that I'm upset about it.
Yeah.
That Loki didn't do a better job of acting like Anthony
oh man,
Hopkins.
Loki's a terrible actor, even though he's not in this scene. Wait a minute, that's Anthony Hopkins, not pretending to not be Anthony Hopkins. Oh my gosh, it's so good.
That's crazy. Yeah. Yeah. But Loki should have been better at fooling Thor in some way. He should know how Odin acts, where he's not just gonna be like, "How's the wife?" or whatever.
And
how you doing?
And this is a stupid anecdote, but at one point Thor brings up, yeah, he turned into a snake and I picked him up, and I said, or then Loki said, it's me, and he stabbed me. Like, that's stupid, and it's not a joke, and it's not funny. But Loki's a master at disguise.
Right.
And doing that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And, like, he could turn into a snake, and Thor will be like, this is a snake.
Yeah.
So for Loki to turn into Odin, and Thor to realize, hey, that's not Odin. Just looking at him.
Yeah.
Like,
He's acting
Loki
weird.
would be pretty dang good at disguise.
Yeah. Yeah. He doesn't act like Odin for some reason. Yeah. So I think my answer for that other segment was that Anthony Hopkins should have played more characters.
Yes.
He should have been pretending to be more characters.
Mm-hmm. Before this film came out, I was really wanting to see Beta Ray Bill.
Yeah.
I thought it would have been cool if Beta Ray Bill showed up. Because I've seen there's a Marvel like animated feature that has this essentially this arc. It's not Sakaar, but there's a tournament kind of fighting pit gladiator thing, and Thor's there and he fights Beta Ray Bill.
Right.
And it's really cool and interesting. They make a reference to Beta Ray Bill in this. and they show a bust of his head on the tower.
Right.
But he's not in the film at all. And it would have... What can you really do with him? And it would have made the movie even more convoluted and full of characters. It'd have to be in a completely different movie. Is the thing. This movie was not built for that. I'm glad they didn't decide to ruin. Yeah, at this point, I'm glad they didn't do it.
Yeah.
Before I even saw the movie, and thought there's a tournament kind of thing. There's a gladiator arena. They're gonna have Beta Ray Bill, and that'll be awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, just simple off the top of my head ideas of going back to a bunch of people fighting the Hulk. Two of those people, Thor, Beta Ray Bill, easily, and they both fighting in it.
Yeah.
You know, they could have made that arena feel like it was more than it was, because it felt like it was nothing. So much more happened outside of the arena when Thor and Hulk were just roommates for some reason, for no reason, and like they could still fight each other if they wanted to, I guess, but they don't, because Hulk's not Rage Monster. But like, I don't know, like no one's even watching them. Speaking of no one watching them, they easily steal that ship off of Sakaar, because there are 3 guards that are taken out by Thor throwing Loki at them.
Yeah.
And they're gone. And then a bunch of people fly out of that place
to
chase them. And then Quark and his group come in there, and there are no guards anymore.
Yep.
It's like, shouldn't they have learned from their mistake?
Uh-huh.
And they just go in and take another one. Just anyone could go in there and steal whatever jet they want.
It's an open garage.
Yeah, it's fine. No one cares.
It's very
just do
casual.
whatever you want. Yeah. Ugh, man. I don't like this movie at all. Ugh. I don't like it, but it's still got a... Honestly, it's got a good... The cinematography puts it at a good base. There are good actors, even if they're not
right.
playing
Incredible
well.
cinematography, great actors.
Just a big disappointment.
Yeah.
And Dark World wasn't great. It was meh. It wasn't like...
It was very forgettable.
Yeah, mostly. Yeah. And plot-wise to the rest of the overarching Marvel Cinematic Universe...
Disconnected.
Pretty much. There was only, like... Loki's alive. And then he's dead. Like, and then he's not dead.
Right.
And I'm trying to think, there's like maybe one of the Infinity Stones is moved somewhere. You learn something about one of them.
Yeah.
That's about it. Which, yeah, how does it tie into the MCU is that the Tesseract is there. And Loki steals that. Which you have to assume they don't show you for some reason.
Right.
Assume he steals
and
it.
Infinity War picks up immediately
afterwards.
After Thor Ragnarok, because of a post-credit scene is Thanos' ship showing up right behind the new Asgard ship.
Here's the thing. Why didn't Loki escape with... Never mind. That's a different movie.
Yeah, different movie.
Different movie. I know. It's all linked right there.
Yeah,
it's so close. And it's... But yeah, it's a different movie.
Before we rank it, can we pull up the rankings so I can see where I put some of the lower movies? Because there are ones that I know I don't want to put below this or above this. And I don't know, it might taint my, like, how I rank it.
I feel like you need to go pure. And
I
feel like you need to go pure.
Okay, so that begs the question.
How
that begs the question, would I rather watch Blade again or this?
That's a good question.
That's the good question.
I'd rather watch neither ever again for the rest of my life if it comes up.
Truth.
Oh,
I need something to write on.
Yeah. We'll write with. We can both write on this.
Okay. Oh. See, I know I ranked Blade very, very low.
Yeah.
But I think I'd rather watch Blade than this. But I also don't want to rank this one that low.
I would say it's not, for me, it's not abysmally low. As much as I don't like it, and I don't want to watch it again, I don't think that is the marking of how good of a movie it is. Exactly. And yes, it is somewhat to my opinion, and I'm going to rank it way lower than anyone else will. But just because I want to watch it 0 out of 100 does not mean that there were some redeeming qualities to it. And it's mostly just, it's a beautiful film. Yeah. And that takes a lot of it.
Takes a lot of it.
I mean, I don't like any of the characters at all in the movie. Not a single one. Except Heimdall, I guess. Sort of. There's not much going on.
He only shows up a couple times.
Yeah, he's not really there. Man.
It's hard.
Except Quark.
Quark, yeah. Quark?
It's My Hero Academia.
Yeah.
He
is a quirk.
His quirk is rock body. He can turn his body.
Which is like Tetsu or...
Yeah, Hiroshima.
Yeah.
These are some good... See, we're spoiling everything.
Yeah.
You think that you're safe. You're not safe.
Yeah, you didn't think we'd bring up anime, did you?
Did you? Did you think that? Leave in the comments if you thought that. Okay, alright. Give me a pen.
I don't know.
Okay.
I picked a number.
Okay, alright. Okay, alright. I would say my number dropped over the course of this discussion. Alright.
Yeah.
3, 2, 1.
That's
surprisingly close.
Not as big of a difference as I expected.
This is Liam picked 58 and I picked 51. So,
originally I wanted to say 60 something.
Me too.
But no.
It's not. It is a slightly above average film.
Mm-hmm. That's
what I would say. Well, yeah.
Right.
I don't want to watch it again, but it is not offensive to me.
Right.
That's where like the less than 50, like while I'm watching it, I feel offended. Like I come out of it upset.
While we were watching Blade, we kept thinking, "Oh my gosh, does this movie end?"
I want it to end.
It went on forever. It felt like an eternity. It was actually painful to watch Blade. Whereas this one, it was bad. But we were kind of enjoying picking out all the bad things about it and discussing it while we watched it a little bit.
Yeah, it was not... It's bad, but it didn't, like, physically hurt me to watch.
Right.
I wasn't bored.
And yeah, it's long, but it didn't feel like it dragged on. Some of the pacing issues, like we talked about in the arena and stuff like that, but... Yeah, it's just not good. Most people would be very for a Marvel film, it's not that good.
Oh no. That's a disgrace for it to be that low.
For it to be that low.
Like, obviously it's not either one of the Fantastic Four's low.
Right. And there are going to be some very low movies yet that we need to watch. But this one is... I'd say it's our least favorite recent modern Marvel movie.
Oh, definitely.
Because the old ones, it's to be expected that those are bad.
Right.
You know, modern Marvel films, you think this is a Marvel movie, it's going to be great. Or just good, but not kind of forgettable, like Ant-Man. Ant-Man was good, but it wasn't like mind-blowing or anything.
No, but yeah, it was enjoyable.
I haven't even seen the second Ant-Man yet.
Yeah. By the way, our average 54.5.
Okay. There we go.
54.5. That's where we're ranking it. 54.5. I don't remember where that ranks amongst the others.
I feel like it's the second lowest above Blade.
Yeah. Where did we end up with Amazing Spider-Man? Where did we put this?
Where did we... Oh, I think we should pull it up.
We need to look. But we're going to now go into this mode where we're not showing the audio anymore.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Okay, now I gotta look it up.
Ocarina of Time.
I should have had a bunch of really funny things up in the tabs, that people could get as. Okay,
Big butts.
Marvel movies. Oh wait, this is not the ranking of them. Hold on.
I saw the rankings though.
Ranked by average though. So. Where do we put it? We put it 54.
54.
54.5.
We put it under Amazing Spider-Man.
By a good margin.
Yeah.
Wow.
Almost 10 whole points.
That's crazy to me. I'm not. Amazing Spider-Man's bad, but
Yeah.
there are redeeming qualities. There are good characters in it.
Uh-huh.
So there's a difference.
And again, when you're watching The Amazing Spider-Man, you're comparing it directly to Sam Raimi's Spider-Man.
Yeah.
So there's some influence coming from there. The first two Sam Raimi Spider-Mans were incredible. In their own kind of way.
Yes. Wow. Yeah. It's 20 points
We put
lower
The Amazing Spider-Man that
Deadpool.
high.
Yeah. Why?
Why did we put it so high? I guess we'd have to listen to it again.
Yeah, we would. We would. Because I'm thinking, did Emma Stone? She was a good main character.
Yeah.
That's probably what it was. I mean, really, she was a good main character.
Right.
And so I don't like any of the characters in Ragnarok. Not a single one of them.
No.
None of them. But at least there's Emma Stone.
At least there's Emma Stone.
That's really what we like.
Well, there you have it, folks.
Emma Stone is better than Thor Ragnarok.
Yes. I'd rather watch her for 2 hours.